Why is it good to have a positive mindset? And how does this create growth? I'm sure you're feeling overwhelmed, stuck, and that life is just weighing you down and nothing seems fun. So I'm going to teach you how to overcome that. And the answer is going to surprise you.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I want to share a story with you of survival and how I overcame the natural elements that I never thought possible. First, what is growth? Growth only happens through struggle and pain, and we can easily get downtrodden by things that challenge us. If we're unable to meet a challenge with a positive mindset, we're unlikely to overcome and grow. There are two elements to staying positive in a tough situation. First, you have to acknowledge that what you're facing is difficult, painful, maybe even unwanted. However, admitting your reality is important. It allows you to understand the negative emotions that are raging within you and hear the wisdom they have to offer. Second, you have to find a positive within the pain of that struggle. I always think to myself, this is going to make a good story whenever something bad is happening to me. And I remember I started doing this a lot when I was tree planting. This is how I paid for my college. I would go up into the mountains in the Canadian Rockies, and this happened when I was 18, fresh out of high school. I went right up into the mountains after my last final exam, and I was planting in the top of the Rockies. And we had this one day where we were literally planting almost to the end of the tree line and going up this hill. And as we're planting, I was new, and I'd always got the worst land because I didn't understand. I was learning, right? There's skill to it. And you'd have these bags, about 40, 50 pounds of trees wrapped around your waist. You get paid by the tree. So you would run up these mountains with a little shovel and you're planting trees as fast as you can. And you got paid by the tree. And my goal was try to make $150 to $200 a day. So at somewhere between 10 to 20 cents a tree, you can see there's a lot of trees I had to plant. And I got stuck in a gorge. It was this little kind of steep gorge, and my property that I was planting out went up this creek that was running down this gorge, and I had to traverse back and forth across it. And as we're planting, it was difficult and steep. I was falling in the creek. It was wet. I was wearing just a t-shirt and jeans and tennis shoes with my shovel. I had no gloves, and clouds came rolling in over the top of the mountains. It was a beautiful sight. It was like standing on the moors in England, and they washed past me. It was like waist deep in these clouds. And they dropped down in the valley below, and a lightning storm started. And I was enthralled with it. I thought it was amazing and kept planting. And then another layer of clouds moved in above us, and it started to snow. And I was not dressed for snow. It was August. I didn't think it was going to snow. And I went down to the main site where our trucks generally were and where the cache of trees were, where I needed to refill if I ran out, and no truck was there. And there was nobody around. And I had another 7 hours on this mountain that I had to survive, and it was cold. And I was sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? I decided at that point, I was like, okay, if I'm going to live, I had read a story, I think by Farley Mowat, about a guy that survived in the north carrying another man on his back, and the exertion of his physical effort to carry this man kept him alive in the cold. And I thought, if I can work really hard and run up and down this mountain, I'll survive. And I turned it into a game because I thought, I don't know if I can run that hard for 7 hours and work that hard for 7 hours in this cold. And it was terrifying because I thought, what if I get hypothermia and die? But at the same time, it was an adventure. And I worked my butt off. And the slick snow on this wet, steep ground, in the creek running down the middle of the gorge, I was falling in the creek. I was wet as could be. I was cold. My hands were numb by the end of the day. They were cut from the shovel because they had been cold and wet. But I made more money that day than I had ever made tree planting. And it actually changed my skill as a planter. I went from a very average planter that day, and I learned a new speed. I learned a new method of moving on the mountain through that struggle. And I became one of these fast planters. I could make $150 to $200 a day running up a mountain, planting a tree. That's how I paid for college. And this was the day that allowed me to understand that I could do this. It was hard work. It was crazy. And when I got back down from the mountain that day, I was exhilarated that I had discovered how to move through cold completely unprepared by exerting my energy and facing that challenge. And I remember as the snow fell down on me, I looked up at this guy and I was like, is this all you got? I just took it on, right? I thought, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna face this challenge. It's hard. I'm gonna charge into it. And I started laughing. When I would fall in the creek in the cold, I would laugh like a maniac and just keep charging because I was in the pain and it was not gonna go away. But I decided I'm gonna take this pain and see if I can survive it and make this a story that here I am telling you on YouTube. But this is the type of thing that you have to do when you face a challenge, because there is no challenge that comes at you that you open up with arms and go, yeah, this is great, I love this. I wanna feel lonely, or I wanna feel sad, or I wanna feel like I'm gonna die. We don't think that way. We have to recognize, man, this is a challenge. And then you gotta have something in yourself that says, how can I turn this challenge into a positive? How can I look at this as an opportunity? And when that becomes your mindset, you get creative. You will respond. It is in you. It is there. It is waiting for you to discover it. But if you retreat because it's hard and begin to consolidate, if I had simply just hunkered down and tried to wait out the storm, I would have frozen to death. I would have died that day. I would not have made it. Instead, I made more money than I'd ever made in one day tree planting. So growth mindset comes down to recognizing the pain and then changing your attitude and understanding this is an opportunity. My whole thing is this will always make a good story. Your best stories come when you're facing something difficult. You don't have good stories of ease and luxury that you face. Those aren't fun for anyone to hear. Your fun stories are the pain and struggle that you face. So let's touch on those 2 points of acknowledging the pain that you're in. I don't know what you're facing. Each of you, me, we all face our own personal struggles, and they can come at us in a variety of ways. And this one in particular was just a physical challenge of me tree planting in the forest as a kid. But there are other challenges that can be really daunting, right? We can lose loved ones. We can get fired from a job. We can be stuck in a marriage that we are scared to, change our behavior in because we don't know what will come. We can have all kinds of blocks that come at us. And when that happens, sometimes we retreat from that because it's painful and uncomfortable. And rather than move toward that pain that we're seeing, we retreat, we hide. We try to protect ourselves. We find other outlets to give ourselves relief. But this does not solve the pain and the problem. It just leaves it there, and it often can come around and hit us even harder. So the quicker that we can learn to acknowledge, hey, this is hard for me, acknowledge it. Give yourself that space. The quicker you can tune in to what your body is telling you, the faster you can start to overcome. Once you've gotten to that place where you can literally just in that moment acknowledge, wow, this is hard for me, I'm struggling. Or, man, I don't like what I'm doing right now. I don't like this job that I'm in. You can then say to yourself, what do I do about it? That could simply mean going to your boss and saying, hey, I gotta have a conversation with you. I need to change things up. Or it means you get a new job. Whatever it means, it gives you a path forward when you look at that. It gives you something to attack in a very, very strategic way, or any way if you're not attacking it at all, right? So then you get to go from that point where you're avoiding and hiding and pretending you're not feeling pain to saying, hey, I got pain. How am I going to move through this? And this suffering that you feel is your growth opportunity. And when you begin to see that, when you understand, okay, here it comes. This is the moment that I'm going to elevate myself. You look at it, you may have a space. Some people are very intellectually engaged and they can learn things really quickly because they have confidence in their mind. Or maybe you're emotionally very strong and you can take on emotional challenges very well. And maybe you have a physical challenge that's really hard for you. Wherever that is, you find the space where you're strong and where you're able to adapt, and you apply that to the place where you're feeling weak. This gives you the chance to say, I have overcome things in my place of strength many times, and now I'm going to overcome this weakness in the same way that I do it in the place where I'm strong. That gives you a good mindset, and then you can think of it as a positive. You can understand, I don't know what the outcome of this will be, but at the very least, it'll be a crazy story that I can tell after it's done, unless it kills you. And if it kills you, you're on to a new adventure anyway. But this idea of looking at it as a positive, of seeing this pain as the opportunity for you to say, man, I got an opportunity here to change my trajectory, to change my life, to have a new experience, that becomes something that can be compelling in the moment while you're feeling that struggle. You can look at that struggle as a positive. You can look at your suffering as the opportunity to find new levels of joy and comfort, because joy brings us comfort. It's a solace to us in times of pain. And that's the way to get to it, through the pain, not running away from it. Hey, so I hope this was of value to you. Stick around. I got more videos to come. If you like what you're getting, hit the bell, subscribe, and check out, if you can, my link in the comments. If you want more one-on-one time with me, check out my link in the description, and you'll be able to find a way to contact me, set up an appointment. I'll do a free consultation with you and make sure we're a good match. If you're facing something that's a challenge and you want to really help your growth mindset, check out my video on how to face fear. It will be something that can help you overcome maybe some of the challenges you're feeling right now. Here comes that video. Click it. You want to see it.